Before we move on, you know who else has been doing some modeling?
We forgot to bring it up, dude.
All right, we can move on now.
All I'm saying is he's just lifting weights. He's not modeling. He's just lifting weights.
I mean, he's strong. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Lockeddoormma. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP, and we are bringing you every single fight prediction and analysis for UFC 318 in New Orleans, Louisiana. I cannot wait for this one. But before we dive into it, just a quick shout out to all of you guys as our viewers, our current subscribers, and everybody that's a part of the Locked Door MMA community. We appreciate you guys as always. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, smash the like button, comment down below who you guys got winning this weekend. Really helps the algorithm, helps push us out even further so that we can get more eyes on the channel. We do appreciate it. Without further ado, JP, last weekend, pretty good subset of fights on that card in Nashville. Some early finishes early on in the card. What were some of your takeaways? I know I was enjoying my sister's wedding, so I wasn't able to watch all of them, but I know you were dialed in like always.
Yeah, we're dialed out here, baby. Yeah, kind of a crazy card. I mean, Walter Walker collecting heels. Nuts.
Oh my goodness, man.
I'm sure Kennedy worked on it in camp. If he didn't, he's an idiot, but I'm sure he did. You know, this guy's going to go for it. The way he did it, I mean, on the back, had his hands locked around his waist. So if I was Kennedy, I'd be like, all right, I'm fighting the hands. Dude just drops. Just literally drops onto the hill. I was like, you got to be shitting me. That was crazy. Can't even be mad at that. What a I was going to say a play, which is not a play, but what a move by Walter. That was nuts. Tafa is a turtle. Last time I'm ever going to talk about him. They're fucking atrocious. They got me cussing this early in the video. God damn it. They're terrible. They're terrible. And then the main event. Derek Lewis has got to be one of my goats. I know we didn't pick him, and I'm not mad that he won. I'm really not. The stoppage, first of all, I could care less. We picked Teixeira. I'm not even upset about the stoppage. The dude is holding on to the fence like it's his meal. Like it's his last meal level. Dude's got a death grip on it. Couldn't care less, bro. He's using it to pull himself up. People are early stoppage. Come on, dude. I mean, you can't grab the fence. What do you expect the ref to do? To stop it and take a point away and give him a chance to recover? Because then everybody betting Derek Lewis by KO is pissed. And then they're saying, oh, it's rigged and all this shit. So I think the ref did a good job there. But yeah, Derek Lewis, I mean, does what he does in the octagon and then does what he does on the mic. I mean, the ultimate post-fight interview, dude. Showing his ass. This dude's crazy. But yeah, Nashville, it was cool. It was a good little card.
Yeah, for sure. It was insane. And, you know, I should have trusted my gut. I saw that Teixeira leaves his chin up in the air, and that's exactly what happened. He got caught with that little left hook and dropped him. Yeah, one could say maybe an early stoppage, but with those heavyweights, I mean, what are you going to do? The guy's fighting for his life trying to grab onto that fence to stand up. So, good win for Derek Lewis. I have zero idea what you do with Derek Lewis from now on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Allison Teixeira was your next big heavyweight. That was the guy they were trying to build up. I mean, this was a build-up fight. If he beats Derek Lewis, it puts him in contention in that weak heavyweight division. Derek Lewis just stopped that. Like, just, you're done, buddy. Sit down. But Derek Lewis is 42 years old, whatever he is now. So it's like, what do we do? The heavyweight division is in shambles. And yeah, let me be clear. On the record, this is the last time I will be bamboozled by a fucking Tafa brother. I talk about it all the time. They're trash. They only can strike. They're weak-minded. They give up easy. They're turtles on the ground. And all those things are true. Even with the move down to 205, Junior Tafa still can't wrestle. And then he gets submitted. I'm over the Tafa brothers. They pull out of every fight. And that is why. Because they'll get scheduled. pull out, and that's the best thing that they can do because they ain't winning if they get inside the octagon on Saturday. Anyways, I'm ready to dive into this absolutely stacked pay-per-view card. I don't know about you. Let's kick it off with two women's fighters that are kind of up and coming in their careers. Carly Judice taking on Nikolai Cagliari.
Um, you think this card's stacked? You like this card?
I think there's a lot of sleeper fights. Yeah. I mean, you may not see a lot of big name guys on paper, but watching the film on these guys, I think we're going to have our hands full with a lot of action from start to finish in each fight.
I'm kind of surprised at the amount of people who are shitting on it, dude. I really am. I mean, it's a pay-per-view out in New Orleans. I don't know. I personally don't think it's that bad when you dive into it, but people don't see Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira level fights on a pay-per-view and they're fucking pissed. So, who knows? Yeah, first one, ladies going at it after it. Carly Judice. This is why records in MMA can be extremely deceiving, right? Carly Judice, 4-2. Pretty sure both of them are pretty young, 26 and 28. So both of them are around mine and Brevin's age, right? Brevin's almost 28, almost over the hill, old man. I'm 26 still, almost 27, pretty soon here. Carly Judice fought what a Doobie Dubin, Doobies, the heavy Doobies, her last fight, and everybody was all over Doobies. Okay. Oh, she had a crazy knockout in contender series. She throws hard and blah blah blah. We were both sitting here saying Judice is gonna beat the shit out of her. It's not close. Doobie sucks, and she did. Head kicked her, right? Judice has got good striking. I like her movement. I like her striking. It's straight. I like her defense. I know we shit on women's MMA sometimes, but I like Judice's striking a lot. I just do. Her movement looks good to me. Looks like she understands range. She understands strikes. Like, I like all of it. Caliari, I also do like it. It's not bad. She's yoked. This girl's stacked at her size. She is going to be much smaller here, though. I think Caliari thrives in the clinch and inside with the strikes, and then she'll mix in her grappling and stuff like that. I think it's going to be hard for her to get close to Judice. And even when she does, it's hard to take down tall people, man. We say it all the time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if the line should be this wide, but I do agree that Carly's the favorite. I'm going to go with Judice.
Yeah. I thought you broke it down very nicely. The one thing I'll say about Judice, and I know this is going to be high praise, but watching her film, she was giving me shades of Sean O'Malley. The striking is very technical, very sharp. She utilizes her range very well, throws straight punches, and she can find the chin of her opponents very well with her hands. And it was just giving me Sean O'Malley type style watching her film. Now, Cagliari, on the other hand, can grapple, and that's my one fear in this fight is like, what if she gets her down to the ground? Can Judy survive? Can she work her way back up to the feet? I think that's gonna have to be proven on Saturday, and if she can, I think it's gonna be a long night for Cagliari. But if she can't, I do think that's the success. Or the pathway to success for Cagliari there, and she could probably find a submission. Honestly, she has slick jujitsu, and Judice with her long arms, like I worry about, maybe an arm bar or something getting thrown up from Cagliari from the bottom. I think if Judice can stay smart, she's definitely going to be the much more technical striker than Cagliari. Cagliari kind of works her way into the pocket by throwing big shots, looking to clinch, get the fight to the ground. But Judice, I think, is going to tag her coming in. So give me Carly Judice as well.
If you're on a betting standpoint for this one personally, I'm probably only gonna touch like maybe the over 2.5. The money line sucks for Judice. If you're a big Cagliari backer, I mean, all you gotta do is touch money line, but I think only over 2.5 is a touchable thing for this fight. Next one. Finally, this kid's getting a fight. We'll see if he can make it Saturday. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson Mcvey.
Goodness, goodness, goodness. I'm excited for this one. And this is kind of one of those fights that I say is a sleeper fight. I think it's going to be action packed from the get go. Mcvey making his UFC debut, coming over from the LFA, I believe it is, where he's had a nice little 4-0 run. The dude is undefeated, but he's getting a tough draw in Bruno Ferreira, JP. Bruno Ferreira has been around the UFC for quite some time now. If you guys have ever watched a Bruno fight, you know that it only takes one punch from this cat to turn your lights out. He's 4-2 in the UFC, which is, a fairly decent amount of UFC experience. McVey, however, is going to be the much, much taller opponent at 6'4". This dude is very long for this division. I think, well, not for 185. Bruno's kind of short for 185, but still at 6'4" at 185, you're a tall dude in the division. He's got really long arms to go with it. I think for Bruno, he's going to have to stay safe from the submission threats of Jackson McVey, but similar to last week, you watch a McVey fight, the one thing that he does is leaves that chin way up in the air. I think his last matchup was much more suited to McVey's advantage. In this one, I do think Bruno's going to find the chin, probably find a KO. Give me Bruno Ferreira, but from a betting perspective, I will hedge a little bit on a McVey submission. I think he's got the skill set necessary to find a sub on Bruno. Bruno's been sub before, but I do think the power from Bruno is going to be too much from Jackson, especially making your UFC debut. You get comfortable, you're undefeated, you leave that chin up a little too high. Bruno's the guy that will make you pay for it. So give me Bruno Ferreira.
Um, yeah. I mean, bingo bango. I'm gonna go Fajita as well. But there's a lot to it, man. There's a lot to it. You said you're gonna hedge a little bit with a McVey sub. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I probably will as well. I'll probably hedge a little bit towards the later rounds, second, third round. I think the longer this fight goes, I think it's in McVey's favor.
I
Um,
agree.
and like you were saying, his first fight was against Federico Dumas. We were backing him all the way by sub.
Yeah.
And then Cedricus couldn't get his fucking ankle monitor off in time. I mean, what a reason to pull out of a fight. Um, yeah, McVey, he's good, bro. Once you get in the clinch, in the red zone, he'll grab you, right? And then he'll start working the clinch knees, the clinch shots. Then he'll take you down immediately, go into a Darce choke. He's got long arms, go into a gilly. He's smart in that aspect. He looks for it. But again, in that clinch, he'll go straight to the tie clinch. He'll leave his chin, like Brevin's saying, right there, right? And his shots are slow. On the feet, his shots are very slow. He'll kick and he can throw. His shots don't look bad. They're straight and accurate. Extremely slow. Bruno will cause chaos and then throw one over the top. Boom! Clip you. And this is worlds. I think Cedricus was a great step up in competition.
First matchup.
Yes.
Yep.
This is worlds above anybody Jackson has ever fought. I think it's going to be, the lights are going to be bright out in New Orleans. Some people, when you go to New Orleans, you either love it or you hate it. There's nobody that I've ever talked to who's like, New Orleans is okay. No, everybody's either this place is trash or this is the best place ever. And then first fight in UFC is against a killer who can also grapple a little bit. I think you just have to back Fajita. But yeah, betting side, I wouldn't mind throwing a couple bucks at a McVey sub, but I'm going Fajita.
Yeah, even the money line with him being such a big underdog, like the dude is undefeated. You can't discredit his skill set and how good he potentially can be. I just think it's a really tough draw for your UFC debut, and maybe he can go out there and show us why he's undefeated and show us that he belongs and that he would have dominated Dumas and that he's going to make a tear in this division. Maybe he can do that. I just think he's got a lot of work to do on the feet to pair with his grappling skills. And I just don't think Bruno's the guy that you want to take, learning lessons from,
Yeah.
too often. So I even like the Bruno first round KO because I just see when I watch film, I just see the opportunities for Bruno to land that overhand. Whether it's with his left or with his right. It's there, it's there, it's there, and it never is not there. I think a first round KO from Bruno might be the play as well if you want to get on some some Bruno side there.
I mean, it's either that or, I mean, you could probably just play the McVay money line if you want to bet him, but It's either him by sub or Bruno's knocking him out.
I'll take the sub at plus 800.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't think this fight's going distance. No way. You could look at under 2.5, see what that's at, but you can't moneyline Bruno.
100%. All right, moving up to the fight I think JP and I are probably the least interested in on this card. We got Ryan Superman Spann taking on Lucas Brzeski.
Oh my god. Superman Spann. I just saw Superman. Just came out. James Gunn. Beautiful job. All right, you haven't seen Superman? Go see it. Ryan Spann. Hashtag not my Superman. Screw this freaking guy, man. He is the one fighter in the UFC that has all the intangibles to be so good and is so utter trash. I'd rather watch my dog take a shit. I guess you can't say that. I guess his fights are entertaining. But Lucas Brzeski, on the other hand, I'd rather watch my dog take a shit than him fight. Could care less. But bro, he's going to win over Walter what? Shut up. Who cares? It was Walter's first fight in the UFC. Clearly, worlds different of a guy. Watch that fight versus any of his most recent 2, 3, whatever. Who cares? Go watch paint dry. Go watch my dog take a shit with me. You can go water my grass with me. Who cares? I'm doing anything else. Give me Ryan Spann, I guess. I don't know, dude. I can't get a Ryan Spann fight correct. I'm not picking Brzeski. He lost to Big Booty Boudet. If there's one fucking rule that I will always rely on this channel, anybody who loses to Boudet, hell no. Give me Ryan Spann.
Yeah. Lose to Boudet, have a good day. We're not picking you. I'm also taking Ryan Spann. Bingo bango. I think he's got the skill set, JP, to be very successful. He's just got to utilize some fight IQ, which we all know he doesn't really possess, to be honest, and to be very blunt with you guys. And I'm not even trying to be mean. Go watch his fights. The truth is the truth, and the facts are within the film, and numbers don't lie. Ryan Spann is a not very smart guy when it comes to fight IQ, and I think he's got to utilize his God-given abilities and his size in this one, his power, because for as weak of a chin that Ryan Spann has, Brzeski has a weaker chin. And so that's kind of the thing that I'm going off of here is they're both undersized heavyweights. I mean, both these guys will come in at 245.
Yeah.
If that. Brzeski normally weighs in at 235. And so I think for Ryan Spann, this is a much different fight than his previous one against Cortez Acosta. And I think for him, that's going to be a world's different experience as far as eating the power coming his direction. And then maybe we can see some of that grappling. Maybe he'll throw in that power guillotine that he likes to go to. And then the hands, he's got good power. He's just got to connect. And I think, not facing a really good boxer in Cortez Acosta is really going to help him in this one. Give him someone with the weakest chin in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. I'm taking Ryan Spann.
If you're on the betting side, don't touch it.
Don't bet. Yeah, so I was going to say, please don't give any type of indication on what to bet on this fight. This is terrible.
Yeah, there's no spot. I don't care. But, bro, value's on the dog. Ryan Spann's not smart. You're going to bet on Lucas Brzeski? No shot. Absolutely no shot. If Ryan Spann loses, cut him from the UFC. Please.
Whoever loses is getting cut.
Please.
I think this is a cut fight.
This is terrible. Let's move on. Jesus Christ, it's pissing me off. Another one.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I could give a shit.
Okay, but here's the thing. And I think this, JP, this stretch right here, these two fights, is maybe why people are like, oh, this card sucks.
Fair.
Because I could agree. These two fights, I do not care to watch.
Fair. Yeah.
I will. Because I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the UFC. I'm addicted to it.
Hello.
But I don't care to.
My name's Brevin, and I have a UFC addiction.
Better than most things out there in this world. All right.
Ain't that the truth?
Sorry, did I cut you off?
Either way, I don't think we're spending much time on this, but it don't matter. You can go first. I can go first. It
All right. Why don't you introduce these two guys?
Jimmy Draw Crute is gonna
Jimmy
be
the Brute.
Jimmy the Brute Draw Crute. Versus Marcin Prachnio.
I mean, it's an interesting matchup. Both these guys are like bottom of the barrel, but it is an interesting matchup. I think their two styles clash in an interesting way. Jimmy Crute, we've seen, is low key just prone to leg kicks. He'll get chopped up. In his last fight, his leg was swollen very badly. And Prachnio, all he does is throw leg kicks. He doesn't really use his hands all that well. He's a good kickboxer, but he utilizes the legs more than the hands, which I don't love. But yeah, JP was alluding to it. Jimmy Crute has more draws than wins in the last 5 years. And I couldn't believe that stat. I really couldn't. Since 2020, this dude has 3 losses and 2 draws. He hasn't won in 5 years. That's crazy to me, guys. That is absolutely crazy. This dude's very weird. He starts fast and then he gasses and then he lets people come back on him. That's terrible. Um, Marcin Prachnio. I mean, his last fight against Bukauskas, I'll give him that. That was a fun fight to watch. This dude was throwing leg kicks from probably the closest distance I've ever seen. I didn't even know a man that was that flexible. Okay. And it was just back and forth, back and forth. I'm sorry, he threw a head kick with his leg.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Almost knocked Bukauskas out. But they were like literally mere inches apart from each other. It was amazing. Good fight. The rest of his fights, he's kind of like your typical, like, I'm gonna stand there and try to kick at you and then rope-a-dope you into thinking I'm either drunk or like getting knocked out. He just kind of stands there and wobbles like this until you get a little close, and then he throws a big head kick. It's weird. I don't really love his hands. I think the kicks are nice. If he can really find Jimmy Crute's legs in this one, hinder the movement, sure. He's another guy that's a turtle on the ground. I don't love it. I do think Jimmy Crute can get him down on the ground, and I do think Jimmy Crute can strike with him. I just don't think he's going to have to, or I don't think he should sit there and eat leg kicks. Give me Jimmy Crute. I could see it probably going either way, but I'm taking Jimmy Crute.
Jimmy the Snoot Boot Poop Crute. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? I mean, in your last 5 fights, you're 0-3-2.
Yeah.
And then you want me to put money on you as a minus 310 favorite, 3-1. And then on the other side, you got fucking we got Stephen Thompson at home type shit. The great value version of Stephen Thompson. Okay. Marcin Prachnio, who's I'm gonna kick at you and dip my head way down there. Anybody, please, anybody, throw a fucking switch head kick. He will go out like a light. Every fight. He's sitting there dipping his head. Doing all this random shit. And then, like Brevin said, his takedown defense, better than Tafa's, right? But again, once he's on the ground, that's all she wrote. He sucks. Once he's on his back, he's just going to sit there and that hand motion did not look good. I'll never do that again. But he sits there and throws little terrible shots on his back. He's not trying to put his feet on the hips. Get that. It looked bad, bro. That looked bad.
Someone clip it.
But yeah, he sucks. I don't care. Give me Jimmy Crute as well. Not touching it. Again, betting side, no reason to touch these last 2 fights. Just
Can I
don't.
suggest something? Can I just make a suggestion?
A draw?
Let's bet the draw. I think this is the perfect time to bet the draw. This guy has more draws than wins in the last 5 years. When are you finding that type of value? I mean, goodness gracious, this is the time to bet the draw.
I mean, and honestly, I think it'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Other than betting on either of them to win, yeah, I'd bet on a draw. Cheer for a draw. Be kind of fun.
Let's cheer for the draw. That would be phenomenal. All right. Adam Fugitt. Mr. Fugitt. You know, I'm getting punched in the head. Fugitt. Adam Fugitt, I think is how you pronounce it. Taking on Islam Dulatov. The Ripper.
The Ripper, huh?
Yeah, don't bend over, buddy.
Hug my Fugitt. This one's interesting. This one's very interesting. Islam Dulatov. UFC debut. Minus 600. If this year has taught us anything, I'm staying away from that. Not going anywhere near it. And then people are like, this kid's nasty. This dude's nasty. This dude's a truth. This dude's a new thing. I don't fucking think so. I don't think he's that good, bro. I really don't. He is not that high that everybody's holding him. He really isn't. He comes forward, sure. He throws hard, sure. He's fast, sure. He can also grapple, sure. Okay, when he's coming forward, it's like a brawling style. It's not extremely accurate. It's not extremely technical. He's throwing from low. His hands never come back here. They're coming from the side. He will gas out. He will gas out. I will put my mortgage on that shit. He will gas out at some point. Maybe not in this fight, but there's going to be a fight where he gasses out. Bad. He loads up on everything. He's just constantly in your face. He doesn't give people a chance to breathe. He hasn't fought anybody. Look at his resume. It's atrocious. Atrocious. And you want me to believe this dude's a minus 600? 6-1 favorite over Adam Fugitt? I mean, Fugitt. I'm not choosing Fugitt because is he the one to check him? I don't think so. I think Dulatov's going to be too fast. Again, he's in your face. Adam likes to sit at range and be trash, which he's trash, but he likes to sit at range, take his time. Dulatov's not going to give him that chance. He will be in his face. Adam's been knocked out plenty of times before. I don't see anything that Adam does that gives him a chance here, but I personally don't think this kid's that good. I really don't. But give me Dulatov. Not touching it. Betting wise, I'm not betting a minus 600 debut.
Wow. Wow. You know, that was a long-winded explanation. I got a few words here on this one. Makhachev move over. There's a new Islam in town. Islam Dulatov will take the lights out. He will knock the lights out of Adam Fugitt, okay? Islam is disgusting. He's got big power in his hands and he can grapple. I mean, JP said all these amazing things. He can grapple. He's got power. He's quick. He's fast and he's huge. This dude's 6'3", okay? At 170, he's a massive individual and he throws bombs. Makhachev, you're done. There's a new Islam. Give me Islam Dulatov. He's going to get it done by KO.
Who's he beating?
Who is he beaten?
Yeah, and like who's he beating Saturday night?
Adam Fugitt.
I like the emphasis you had the second time. He's putting his lights out. Adam Fugitt. Hey. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I just see a wild man with pressure that I think can be beat.
Guess what? Islam and his family were war refugees, okay? They moved to Germany when he was 10. His brother's a fucking model. He went into modeling, all right? This dude's the real deal, and he looks good doing it. True story.
You know he's
Those
a
are
model?
all facts.
Hey,
he's a model.
You doing some research?
I did do some research. I know his whole family. He's got like 4 brothers.
Oh, first name basis type shit?
Me and Islam, we're close.
Shit, hell yeah. Flex right there. Hey, subscribe, baby. All right, let's move up. Excited for this one.
Hey, before we move on, you know who else has been doing some modeling?
We forgot to bring it up, dude.
All right, we can move on now.
All I'm saying is he's just lifting weights. He's not modeling. He's just lifting weights.
I mean, he's strong.
Some would say he's got good leg kicks. That one wasn't very good. I don't know.
He's got good get-up game.
Zoinks, Scoob. Conor McGregor trending again. Look it up. Yeah, next one. Very excited. for this kid. Very excited. Okay. This kid is nasty. Ateba Gautier versus Robert Valentin.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen an Ateba fight, go find some film. Few and far between because he doesn't have a lot of fights, but the dude is an absolute monster. All right, 23 years old, 6'4", yoked. I mean, to oblivion. I mean, he's a big Yoel Romero. This dude is an absolute unit. Um, Taking on Robert Valentin. We've seen Valentin in a few good fights recently. Not, I mean, one could say it wasn't a good fight against Torres Finney, but Valentin did what he could against a guy that just wanted to lay on him, who also is pretty yoked. He's not 6'4", but he's yoked. And then Ryan Loder. I mean, the All-American. Everyone saw that coming, right? Oh, none of you did. I did. Anyways,
Yeesh.
two losses. Two losses. I can't really blame him all that much for those two losses there. I think this is going to be an interesting matchup, JP. And I've said multiple times, let's give Robert Valentin a striker. Let's give him a striker. He's a great striker. Valentin's a really good striker. Let's give him someone that's not going to wrestle him to death. That's what they're doing here. Now, the one problem is Gautier's got crazy power. I mean, this is like Francisco.
Yeah, that's
No,
wild.
Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou type power. Like he will hit you, and you're asleep. Next thing you know. There's a couple problems with this. He's very inexperienced. He's very young. He does throw hard, but when you throw hard and you either miss or the fight goes long, you will gas. You have all that muscle mass, you will gas. There's kind of a theme that we've had since this whole Tafa situation. Adeba's also a turtle on his back. He gets taken down. He doesn't know what to do. If you watch his fight on the Contender Series, sure, flashy KO victory. Give the man a contract. He spent the entire first round on his back, and he could do absolutely nothing. Couldn't move. He's looking over to his corner. Hey, what do I do? What do I do? He waited out the entire round until he could get back up to his feet to find a KO. I don't love it. You want to talk about UFC debuts? Sure, this isn't his UFC debut, but this is the first real fighter that he's fighting. I'm not counting Jose Medina, Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. Never won a fight, but we're giving him a contract because he's tough. Get out of here. JP, this line is insane. This line is insane. I think you know where I'm going with it. I'm going with Robert Valentin. I think he can get it done. I think he's the better striker. Sure, he doesn't have the power advantage. I think he's more skilled, and I think he has a grappling advantage that no one wants to talk about. I think if he gets this down to the ground, it's night-night. He'll find a submission because Gautier is a turtle. And Adeba has a tendency of over-swinging as well. He will swing with everything he has. If you whiff and you turn around and you give up your back, Robert Valentin has the skills to take advantage of that. He also is training out of Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. All right, Valentin's no slouch. And I said, give this man a striker, and I will be taking Valentin. Well, here we are. Sure, Adeba's scary to me. He's scary. But you know who I don't think is afraid of him? Is Robert Valentin. My money is with a huge underdog, Robert Valentin.
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Zoinks, Scoob. That is crazy. Did not expect that. All right. I got a lot to say. All right. You guys don't like me yapping? I'm sorry. It's what I do best. I went to school for it. Have a degree in yapology. Brevin said Valentin fought Torres Finney. Some may say it's not a good fight. If anybody says that's a good fight, we can go right now. Me and you can fight right now. That is the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Torres Finney is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen in my life. Not
From
close.
the Finney side. Let me clarify. From Valentin's side, I didn't think it was that bad. He did what he could.
Fair.
From the Finney side, it was a terrible fight.
Fair. Very fair. Torres Finney's trash. Okay? Give Torres Finney Conor McGregor. Torres Finney wants to sniff nuts so bad. Enjoy that, buddy boy. He's lifting weights with it. Go over there. Okay? You bum. Robert Valentin did what he could. In the third round, Torres Finney was gassed. We had a little bit more space. Dude decides to throw a Superman punch. Idiot. You're an idiot. I did pick Valentin. Did like Valentin. There was a judge, gave it 3-0. Valentin. We can't be doing that. That's terrible.
That was crazy.
That guy should never judge another MMA fight in his life. I believe it was a boxing judge. Shocker. All right. I do agree with Brevin, though. Valentin's a good striker. He can grapple. I also picked him over Ryan Loder. Ryan Loder, great wrestler. Valentin did have his back, then got out, transitioned, out scrambled, whatever you want to call it. Ended up losing. But Loder's a good grappler. Okay. Ateba. This kid, you were not lying when you said he has power. He does have power. He has a touch of death. He's fucking huge. He is a freak of nature, dude. Massive, fast. At times, I do agree he can overswing, but I do think his striking is very good. You guys, everybody's got to remember, this kid is only 23, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, barely 23. He's not even going to be 23 and a half by the time this fight goes off. Like, this kid's still got a long way to go, and I think he's got a lot of promise. Okay, his striking is there. It's gorgeous. He cuts angles. He is working with Frank Mir. Frank Mir isn't in his corner for the grappling edge and the grappling side. I do think he understands that's his hole. He needs to fill that. Somebody will expose it. Robert Valentin, if you keep him in the fight, there's a big chance, like Brevin said, that Ateba gasses and Valentin catches a sub late. I think if this fight ends early, it is Gautier all the way. I am very worried about Valentin on the feet because Gautier, you'll wake up next week after this fucking kid hits you. Don't hate the Robert Valentin pick. I've picked Valentin twice since we've seen him. I like Valentin. I've backed him. I love his Nordic tattoos. Give me Ateba Gautier to take his fucking head off. I can't blame anybody for picking Valentin by lace-up, but give me Gautier.
I think that's fair. And how many times, JP, have I picked Robert Valentin?
0. This is the first
0.
time.
It's my first one. I think this is the spot. I mean, everyone has a learning fight. Everybody has that fight where they've learned lessons. Ateba, young, very young, unpolished. Sure, you can have Frank Mir in your corner, but if you haven't been grappling your entire life, you are levels below where some of these other guys are. And Valentin showed me in that Ryan Loder fight, he's got what it takes, dude. And if Ateba's in that position that Ryan Loder was in, the fight's over. The fight is over. I don't know. It should be a good matchup, but like JP said, take the first round KO from Ateba. If it goes out of the first round, watch out because we're live. And I will do that exact thing. I will take a Gautier first round KO. That is what probably will happen. But if it gets out of that first round, guys, those muscles are going to be filled with acid. He won't have the juice. I think Valentin is a live underdog.
Torres Finney, you fucking suck.
All right, moving up. Speaking of young fighters, we've got a very young fighter in this one. Francisco Prado is taking on Nikolai Veretennikov.
Talk about a cement block. I mean, there's two guys on this card that just have massive noggins, dude. Huge noggins. Francisco being one of them. But yeah, this kid's younger than Gautier. All right, and this kid has had how many fights in UFC now? 3, 4, 4. I mean, he is 1-3, so everybody's gonna look at that and be like, "Oh, this kid sucks." 23, dude. I mean, you turning 23. How do you think you do in the UFC? If I was fighting in the UFC when I was 23, I'd probably be fighting fucking lightweight and getting smoked by Habibi. You know? Habibi be talking to me, telling me, you need to smash this guy. Veretennikov just got beat by Paige Van Zandt's husband, Austin Vanderford, and then did probably the softest shit I have ever seen in my life. You have 15 minutes to fight somebody. If me and Brevin were talking shit to each other, well, I mean, we do all the time. But if we actually had 15 minutes to go in and fight each other, and Brevin wrestle fucked me, And at the end of that 15 minutes, I mean, granted, he did get finished, but my point stands. At the end of that 15 minutes, Revan goes up to me and goes, hey, good fight. And I push him like I'm mad at him. I shove him like I want to still fight. You just had 15 minutes to do it. And you did nothing. And now you want to be a little bitch and push him? Soft as baby shit. Hate it. And I don't think he's that good. I don't. He's 35. I think we've seen what he is. I mean, going to a split decision with Danny dogshit Barlow. Fuck Danny Barlow. I've never seen a guy with so much power in his left hand that doesn't know how to throw it. I broke it. I picked him against Sam Patterson. And I said, he keeps complaining that we broke it. We got to show something now. Then he gets slumped. He's a fraud. And then he gets his ass beat by Austin Vanderford. Prado's got a chin. I don't see Veretennikov knocking him out. Prado has a bunch of subs too. And he's a dog, dude. He's young. He wants to get after it. Give me Francisco Prado.
Yeah, I'll keep this one short and sweet. Bingo, bango. Give me the young gun, Francisco Prado. I do think he's got, more to prove. He's young. He's up and coming. Nikolai, we've seen what he is, and it's just not impressive. I think the hands will be there for Prado, but what really I think is going to be there is the wrestling and the grappling from Prado. He can do those things as well, and we saw the pathway to success from Vanderford in the last fight that Nikolai had, which he lost. So I'm taking Prado, and I feel good about that. And the lines are honestly pretty good. I mean, Nikolai's done nothing, guys. Like, he's literally done nothing. The dude is 0-2 UFC and 0-1 on the Contender Series. He's done nothing. And you're getting this line where he's, this is a close fight. I mean, it's close to a pick'em. Prado's barely a favorite right now, and that line might change. It's probably different on DraftKings, but I think it's still going to be fairly reasonable for a guy that's done absolutely nothing fighting Prado. So let's rock with that.
Yeah, I agree with what Brevin said. If you're on the betting side, hammer the money line for Prado. Absolutely hammer. There's a lot of big favorites on this card. This is, in my opinion, one of the best spots of the card. But let's move on.
One of them. We'll get to the second one later. All right, moving up. Marvin Vettori, block. Taking on Brendan Allen. I believe this was the other one you're talking about.
Absolutely.
That's having a block for a head.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you put Prado's head and Vettori's head right next to each other, you guys will see what I'm saying. I mean, just absolutely cinder blocks. You could build a block wall with their fucking heads. And both of them, hard to finish. I mean, Marvin Vettori. We'll start with him. Terribly, terribly tough to finish. I mean, this dude is just an Italian monster. You haven't heard him scream after the fight? Oh my God, dude. Him and Yuri have the most like primal. I mean, if you had to explain Marvin Vettori to somebody, I would just say a Neanderthal Italian. I feel like that perfectly sums up who he is. These two have already fought. Not in the UFC. In fucking the Venetian, in the Cosmopolitan, one of the hotels, at the blackjack table. Okay, they went at it. Okay, punches were thrown. So we got some bad blood here. Brendan Allen, a good grappler. His striking's okay. Some people are saying he's a good striker. I personally don't think so. I think it's okay. He'll gas out. He's a good grappler, but he'll gas out. He gassed out against Chris Curtis, and then the shots that he was taking, terrible. Horrible. Falling to your knees, just throwing your arms out there. Horrible. I don't think he's going to knock out Vettori. On the other side, Vettori, his striking sucks too. He's got nothing to offer, but he's a good grappler. Good defensive grappler. Strong. And again, hard to finish. If I'm betting on this fight, extreme over 2.5. I had a tough time picking. And then I remembered one thing. Marvin Vettori recently lost his brother. And before that, I think he was hurt, right? Did he get hurt recently, or am I smoking crack?
He may have.
I think he was out. That's why he was out for a while before the Dolidze fight. So he got hurt, and then he lost his brother. And now he wasn't active because of that. Now he's fighting, I think, 4 months after the Dolidze fight. Personally, if you're asking me, I think he's locking in. I think it's taking him to a different spot. You go to a dark place when that shit happens. I mean, if I was fighting when I lost my dad, I'm sure there would have been things that I was thinking about through camp. I'm just going to go in and fucking kill this guy. And I don't see anything that Brendan does. I can't see him submitting him. And I think on the feet it's very even. Give me my first dog of the card. Dog shot, Marvin Vettori. Get it done.
There you go. I mean, well said. Well said. I just think the opposite of you, JP. I think anytime you're going through loss like that, it's going to end up like Anthony Smith. You want to feel pain. You're in a dark place. You can't focus on what needs to be focused on. Your mind's just wandering. You're not really locked into the fight game at this point. Like you're just looking to fight. And I just don't think that's a great game plan going up against a really skilled fighter in Brendan Allen. I do think Brendan Allen's going to be able to get Marvin Vettori to the ground. I do think there's openings to find a submission. And even if he doesn't submit him, I do think Marvin Vettori is going to get controlled on the ground. Sure, he's never been submitted in his career, but even in that Jared Cannonier fight, Jared Cannonier was taking him down especially late when Vettori was getting a little tired. He carries a lot of muscle mass as well. He's a shorter guy. He's 6 feet with a lot of muscle mass, whereas Brendan Allen, a little bit taller, 6'2". Um, sure, we want to talk about the gas tank problems. I would say Vettori's kind of right there with Brendan Allen. And I think that if you want to even them out on the feet, give me the guy that has a grappling edge and a wrestling edge. I think Brendan Allen's going to be able to control him on the ground. I will be taking Brendan Allen.
Is that the first one we're split on?
No, you took Gautier.
Oh,
I
yeah,
took
yeah.
my boy Valentin.
Yeah, your boy. Oh, man. Interesting one. All right. Next one, moving up. Still on the prelims, which is crazy. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah, should be a good matchup. These two throw a lot of action. Kyler Phillips, decent all around fighter. I mean, the dude is 6-2 inside the UFC. I don't think he does any one particular thing well. He'll grapple at times. He'll try to strike with guys. Recently coming off of a loss to Rob Font, which I've never been a huge Rob Font guy personally, guys. So I don't like that loss for him. Um and Vinicius Oliveira, he's a crafty striker. He's one of these Brazilian guys that doesn't really grapple. He will strike with you, and he'll be a little bit showboaty. He'll keep his hands low. He'll kind of talk to you as these things are happening. I think his win over Said Nurmagomedov really proved to me like he does have what it takes to stay safe from grappling attempts from these guys and do more on the feet. Even now looking back at the fight against Ricky Simone, Simone's had a nice little streak going for himself as well, 2 in a row where he's wrestled a lot. Um, because he's very skilled at doing that, and he couldn't take down Vinicius even when Vinicius hurt his foot in that fight. He was hobbling on one leg. Simone couldn't take him down. I think he's skilled enough in that department. It may not look pretty on paper, and when you watch his fight, it's like, oh, I see holes. I see an area where he could get taken down. He's very strong. And I think that's where a lot of people don't really realize either. And he does all the right things. I mean, when he's in the clinch, he's digging double underhooks. He's getting out of there. He's turning guys, getting off the fence. He's doing all the right things in his striking. With the hands being so low, it comes at you quick. It's hard to read. It's hard to pick up. And I think Kyler Phillips, his striking is kind of more like I'm going to shell up, throw some jabs out there, and walk forward. I don't think that's a great game plan going up against Vinicius Oliveira, a very skilled striker. I'm taking Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah, bingo, bango, man. Vinicius strong, like you're saying. He's explosive. He's fast. There's no way in hell, in my mind, that Kyler takes him down. No shot, unless Vinicius falls over or something like that. I mean, you guys know I'd back my hometown fighters. I mean, Jose Delgado. I told y'all. He's nasty. He got a finish. Not Kyler. What are you going to do? Run backwards? Run away? Point fight? Tat, 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 tat. And then run backwards, circle out, circle out. That's all Kyler does well to me. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it here. Vinicius is going to be in his face. I think he's just as quick. Down. Yeah, walk him down. I think he's just as quick. I think there's more power on Vinicius' side. Kyler Phillips hasn't knocked anybody out since 2019. He's a point fighter bust, and Rob Font showed you. You walk him down, you're in his face. It's a problem. He's always going backwards. Hate it. Bingo, bango, give me Vinicius.
And this is another one, guys, that the lines right now are pretty darn good, if you ask me. I think this is a really good matchup stylistically for Vinicius, even more so than his fight against Ricky Simone. and now he's going up against Kyler at a pretty good line, pretty good price. Might be a spot to watch out for. All right, moving up to the main card. Finally, wow, we took a long time on those prelims. We'll get you into the main card here. Michael Johnson. Oh my God, the UFC
Oh
journeyman
my god.
is taking on Daniel Zellhuber.
Yeah, that's why I put timestamps because I just yap half the time. Michael Johnson, dude, 40 years old,
That and
39.
500.
That and huh?
That and 500. He's 15 and 15.
Oh, um, yeah, 39, dude, almost 40. Been around. I think he got famous. I mean, he was decent before, but against that in that Habib fight, I think was the one that really put him on the map, even though he got his ass beat. But yeah, dude, he's a guy who'll sit there and bang with you. He's gritty. He can strike a little bit. I mean, he knocked out Dustin Poirier long ass time ago. Long ass time ago. But this pick's pretty simple for me. I think it comes down to their styles. Michael's not gonna be grapple heavy, even if he is. I think we'll be fine in that route. I think Michael's gonna sit there and try and fight him on the feet, try and slug it out with him. I think Zellhuber is better at range. I think he's faster. I think he kicks better. I think it's gonna be a problem for Michael. Um, the lower you go in weight and the older you are, the bigger problem it is. The higher you go in weight, just like we saw Derek Lewis, you have a better chance at being older because the last thing to go is the power. The lower you go, these guys are faster, more technical, way more well-rounded. But I think it's Daniel Zellhuber all day, besides a lucky home run shot from Michael Johnson. I don't think he gets it. Give me Daniel.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've seen from Michael Johnson. I mean, the dude is 15 and 15 inside the UFC, guys. He'll win one and lose one. Like he is he's your typical journeyman, and he's coming to the end of his career and he's taking on Daniel Zellhuber, who I think is doing nothing but getting better each time he goes out there. And typically Michael Johnson, is a fairly tall fighter. He's going up against a very tall 155er at 6'1" and Daniel Zellhuber with a much longer reach. And I think it's just going to be a problem because when Michael Johnson's used to sticking on the outside, Zellhuber will be doing that to him. Plus, the dude's 26 years old. He's going to be quick. He's going to be fast, and he carries a lot of power on his own, as well. So I'm also taking Daniel Zellhuber. I think this is a good build-up fight for Zellhuber to get back on the winning side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody saw that coming. Brevin likes his tall, long fighters. All right, next one, moving up. The return of Patricio Pitbull in the UFC, going up against Dan 50K Ige.
Yeah, should be a good matchup. I'm excited for it. This is another one that I think is going to be action-packed. As you guys know, Dan Ige earned himself the nickname 50K because of the winning of the bonuses, fight of the night, knockout of the night, whatever it is. I mean, he's going to press forward. He's going to bring the action. And Patricio Pitbull, that was the one thing he lacked in his last fight was action. Sat at range with a much better striker in Yair Rodriguez. In this one, though, I think the action's going to come to him, and I think he's going to be able to implement a better game plan. I worried about him coming into the UFC and overlooking Yair Rodriguez, saying he was going to be champion and doing all this. It's like it's the same thing we've seen with a number of these guys now. Patchy Mix was the last one where they come in, they say, "I'm going to be champion. I'm not even looking at my current opponent." I think the last fight for Patricio Pitbull was very humbling. I think he went back to the drawing board, understood, here's what I did different. He actually did quite well coming out in round 2, or I'm sorry, excuse me, in round 3 when he knew that he needed a finish at that point in the fight. He landed some big shots on Yair. I think he's dangerous on the ground as well. Sure, not a great UFC debut, but I've never been a huge fan of Dan Ige. He's kind of just one of these well-rounded guys. He throws hard. He has some good power in his hands. So does Pitbull, right? Some good wins on his resume, a good last 4-hour replacement um, against Diego Lopez. And it's like, how much do we value that stuff? You've also lost to Bryce Mitchell. I think Bryce Mitchell sucks. You've lost to Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett is really middle of the road. There's a lot of guys that like Calvin Cater, you lost to him, and we just saw how bad he was. So it's like, sure, you've done some nice things as of late. I'll give you that. The Sean Woodson fight, you found a KO. I think he was losing the first 2 rounds. The judges will disagree with me. Maybe I'm biased. I love Sean Woodson. Sure. Have that be as it may. Um, and I've just never been a fan of Dan Ige. I think Patricio Pitbull has the skills to be very successful. He's just got to remain focused, implement a solid game plan, implement the grappling, press forward, throw more volume, right? Those are all things he needs to do. If he proves me wrong again, so be it. But I'm not going to jump ship just because of one fight against a very skilled striker who's also much bigger than Patricio and Yair Rodriguez. This is a much more closely matched fight as far as size goes, as far as reach goes, and I think as far as skill set goes. I'm taking Patricio Pitbull as the underdog. I think this is a good spot for him.
Um, wow, interesting. Um, Brevin said he's not jumping ship. I am, and I'm out, and I'll tell you why. You're 38, and you came out with a fucking horrendous game plan. What the fuck are we talking about, dude? We literally said you cannot sit there and strike with a taller, longer, better kickboxer. Everybody knows that. And that's the only fucking thing he did. And it took till round 3 for you to be like, oh, I should change it up. And now you're going to be 39? Hell no. Absolutely not. Get me out of there. Terrible. Horrendous. You're going to go up against a guy who's faster than you. You might have more power. Sure. I think Dan Ige is a better boxer. I think Patricio might be a better kickboxer, all-around striker. I think Ige is a better boxer. You say Patricio's going to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got the grappling advantage. He won't use it. He will not use it. Even if he does, so is Dan Ige. Dan Ige is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Never been knocked out, never been subbed. Get me out. Patricio's game plan is trash. He's not the same he was. I think his career's over. Dan Ige is in his prime. Sean Woodson fight is what it is. Scoring the first 2 rounds for him over Sean, crazy work. Is what it is. I think he's nasty. 4 hours against Diego Lopez. You guys know how I feel about Diego Lopez. I think that's gross work. And he gave him trouble. Granted, Diego cut weight like 2-3 times. But Patricio, call it a bias pick. I think that's atrocious. Atrocious. What you did? Hell no. Absolutely not. The only way Patricio gets me back on board to unbiasedly picking his fights is going out there and slumping Dan Ige. Give me Dan 50K, Ige.
Can't blame you, bro. Really can't. Just like I like to believe in guys, you know. I've seen a lot of stuff on film. Patricio has the skill set, right? But the game plan. What's the game plan going to be? Surely at the ripe age of 38, we can figure out, hey, here's where I went wrong. I like, are they having these conversations, JP, or not?
I don't.
Because if they are,
I don't know.
I would like to believe that he's got the skill set necessary, you know? Also, so are you in agreement with me about the Sean Woodson first 2 rounds of the fight? Are we in agreement?
Yeah, scoring the first 2 rounds for Dan is crazy work in my eyes, but whatever, I guess, because the stoppage was. People want to be upset about the Teixeira stoppage. That stoppage was horrible.
That one was pretty bad too. Dude was standing up, defending himself,
not grabbing the cage either. No cage grab.
Fucking it. All right, moving up. Sorry.
Yeah, I just don't. You're 38, bro. You've had a massive career. Very popular guy. Been the champ multiple times. And that's terrible. That's like a 27-year-old kid to me. That's like if I went in there and had a dog shit game plan. Is what it is. We'll learn from it. You're fucking 37, 38. You've been doing this. And it took you to the 3rd round to be like, oh, it's not working? Get me out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it. I just feel like you're being a little harsh on him. He made his UFC debut. Sure, he's 38. Sure, he's fought in some of the biggest organizations in the world, but I do think there's some validity to the UFC like jitters. Right? I mean, and then Yair Rodriguez is one of the best in the division.
Yeah, he's a good striker.
I think this, to me, is showing that the UFC still believes in Patricio Pitbull. Is it not? I mean, they gave him another guy inside the top 15. You know, to go out there and lose like that, how he did, I feel like most guys, they would have said, you got to work your way back up to a top 15 fight. I mean, there's guys that have won 7 in a row that can't get a guy inside the top 15. And you're giving, you know, Patricio Pitbull another chance at it. I think it says the UFC believes in him at least, but clearly you don't. All right, moving up. Kevin Holland, the Trailblazers, taking on Daniel Rodriguez.
All right. Everybody take a guess who we're gonna pick. Take a guess who Brevin's gonna pick. There's one guy that he's not fond of in this matchup. I feel like it's a very similar situation. I sat up here, I believe it was like 2 fights ago, the Gunnar Nelson fight for Kevin. And I think both of us were like, hey, picking Kevin Holland 2025, is it stupid? Is it not? All the things he said. I'm in this for money. I'm in this for entertainment. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, 45-70, blah, 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 blah. And then he went up to 85 and he got his shit kicked in. He got ragdolled, right? And I think it humbled him a little bit. And I think he realized, hey, if I truly am in this for money and not the belt, Brevin, what's the best way to get paid in the fight game? Win fights.
Fight superstars. Yeah. Win fights, fight superstars.
Nobody's going to fucking pay you to lose. Run your mouth and lose. Nobody's going to do that. And I think he finally understood that. And he showed when Kevin Holland is on, he is a problem. He can grapple. He's long. He can strike. Just don't go up and fight these 185 pounders who are 200 plus pounds the night of the fight who can ragdoll you. Stay at 170, man. And I think he realizes that now. And he's a problem. We both picked him over Luque. Nasty Darce choke. D-Rod, I see nothing that D-Rod can do to win this fight. If we go to decision, he's slow. He's not that good. Who did he just knock out? I did pick him over Ponzi.
Ponzinibbio. Good.
I picked him over Alex Morono and Ponzi. Watching D-Rod fight, it's so boring. He's slow. I don't think he's good. I think Kevin Holland could sub him. I think he could knock him out. I think he could beat him by decision. He wins literally everywhere. Give me Kevin Holland.
Yeah. Bingo, bango. I mean, JP was kind of alluding to it. I don't like Daniel Rodriguez. I think he's slow. I think his striking is really subpar. I mean, they're giving him Alex Morono, who was 40 years old at the time. And then Ponzinibbio, who we all know can't even strike. He doesn't even throw punches. He like slaps with his open hand, bro. I mean, give me a break. I don't think this is a good matchup whatsoever for Daniel Rodriguez. I think Kevin Holland really is going to have this fight in his advantage, really, wherever he decides to take it. And I think, honestly, Kevin Holland's last fight against Vicente Luque was a tougher matchup than Daniel Rodriguez. I think Vicente Luque beats Daniel Rodriguez. So I'm taking Kevin Holland. Method of victory. I don't know. I think he can really do everything. If it goes long, he wins via decision. If he catches him clean, he wins via KO. And if it takes him down to the ground, he can sub him. He's a very dangerous man. I think he wins no matter what.
Yeah, I think the betting on this one's kind of tricky because the money line a little steep, minus 455. But like you said, like he could finish him anyway.
Yeah.
So betting KO and then he club and sub with that nasty Darce that he's got. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Moving up. Co-main. Paulo Costa. The return versus Roman Kopylov.
Yeah, this should be another good fight. One thing I found very interesting was how old Roman Kopylov is. I thought he was much younger, to be honest.
True.
And he's the same age as Paulo Costa. Costa's been around the game for a long time now. He's had his ups and downs. He's fought a lot of top level guys inside this division. Last fight was against Sean Strickland, former champion, right? Fight before that, Robert Whittaker, former champion. These guys he's very skilled and he's fought some of the most skilled guys that you could have. Roman Kopylov, same thing. Honestly, he hasn't fought near the level of competition that Paulo Costa has, but he's very, very skilled and he's got really good striking. I think this is really going to come down to a war of attrition. How can Paulo Costa handle his stamina in this fight? Because they're both amazing strikers. Paulo Costa, a little bit lacking on the volume end of it. I think he's best when he's pressing forward, walking his opponents down, throwing big shots. Roman Kopylov does the same thing. And it seems like Paulo Costa, as of late, especially in the Sean Strickland fight, very accepting of just walking backwards, getting pushed back. And I don't love that. And you're carrying all that muscle mass, walking backwards the whole time, you're going to drain yourself. I think Roman Kopylov has the striking skill set, to be very dangerous. He's very quick, has a lot of power. And Paulo Costa, sure, he's tough, but he eats a lot of shots. I got Roman Kopylov in this one. I think he finds a finish. I don't necessarily see this one going down to the ground at all. I do think it stays standing, and it's really going to come down to who can implement their striking better. I just think Kopylov's better at it and a little bit more crafty at this point in their careers.
Yeah, I think that's broken down beautifully. Bingo bango. I am also taking Kopylov. I think Costa has fallen in love with the art of the KO. And I don't think he understands that he's not a one-shot guy. Paulo Costa is not a one-shot knockout guy. He is a one shot, one big shot, wobbles him, and then he throws a wild spinning heel kick. He throws something. But like Brevin said, he's coming forward and he's putting volume out there. He's putting strikes out there. I think Paulo Costa should look at Dulatov earlier on this card and take his style and come forward. Paulo Costa, that's when he's a fucking problem. He's this big meathead who's strong as shit with crazy kicks that you wouldn't expect. Press people, be in their face. But like you said, he's on the back foot too much. Kopylov will walk you down. He can also kick. I think he's got better hands. I think he's better defensively. I think his cardio is going to be better. I don't think Paulo's in it. I really don't. And I think Roman still wants to try. I think Roman thinks he is like championship caliber. And I think Paulo's just, I don't know. I don't think Paulo's devoted. I really don't. He's not active. And Kopylov is. Bingo bango. Give me a Roman Kopylov.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was so surprised at their ages. It's like Roman just seems like he's hungry, right? He's going after some of the top guys in the middleweight division. Paulo Costa seems like he's just kind of enjoying life. Maybe like he's already checked out. He's already retired. And sure, they'll pay him to come in and fight some of these top guys, but he's been losing, and he just kind of accepts damage and doesn't provide damage back. All right, that takes us to the main event of the evening for the UFC's baddest motherfucker title belt. I'm excited for this one. The trilogy. Max Holloway is taking on Dustin Poirier.
Wow. Wow. What a fight. What a way to end it. What a storybook ending. Holloway, his debut against DP, and now DP's retirement fight. He's fighting Holloway again. Holloway is down 0-2 all time against Dustin Poirier. And some are saying he's going to go down 0-3. He's going to be down 0-3 to two guys in his career, which I think it was the second Volk fight. Volk did not win that fight, but that's neither here nor there. I think they got similar careers, man. Similar careers. Max Holloway has just done nothing but get better. And you can feel the way you want to feel, shit on him, not shit on him, about Ilia Topuria. Look at Ilia Topuria right now. Okay, Max was also landing. He put up a better fight than Charles. I don't want to hear nothing. Okay. DP. Oh, was that his last fight? It was. DP taking Islam. I mean, he took him to deep waters. I think DP gave Islam one of the toughest fights he's had. Correct me if I'm wrong. But round 5, Darce choke. Sure, Islam finished him. Look at Islam's face. He was tired. He was exhausted. He was gassed. Dude was getting touched up. Sure, he does what he does because he's great. But, I mean, Dustin put up a phenomenal fight. Knocking out Conor McGregor. Dustin gave Conor CTE. That's why Conor's lifting weights now. And not fighting. Okay? Dustin Poirier is just, both guys, certified Hall of Famers. Certified. Very hard pick for me. Very hard pick for me. I just don't know. I don't know. I think Max has been looking better. I think that performance against Gaethje was gorgeous too. It's his retirement fight. I understand that. Everybody wants to go out on a high note. You rarely ever do. He beat him twice already. It's hard to beat somebody twice. Beating him 3 times? No way, man. Give me Max Holloway to spoil the retirement. I love Dustin, though. It's not a hate pick, nothing. I wouldn't be shocked if Dustin wins. Give me Max Holloway. I am very excited to see. I hope this fight goes 5 rounds, and I want to see the last 10 to 20 seconds of the 5th round. It is going to be fucking bananas. Give me Max Holloway.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I think no matter how this fight turns out, it's gonna be one for the ages. Both these guys, brawlers, right? They've been in some absolute wars, some of the best fights that we've seen, fight of the year candidates, knockout of the year candidates, just absolutely amazing fighters, both of them future Hall of Famers for sure. Um, JP, you kind of alluded to it though. These retirement fights, I would like to see the number on how many of the guys that are supposed to be retiring actually won that fight. It just doesn't seem like very many. Your heart's already out of it. Your mind's already out of it. Maybe you're looking forward to retirement. Maybe I don't want to take these leg kicks anymore. Maybe I don't want to grapple. Maybe I don't want to wrestle. Maybe I don't want to burn myself out to the point of exhaustion. Those are all real things that go through your head. And I think, looking back at some of their previous fights, especially like the grappling that Poirier can possess, the wrestling that he can bring to the table, at this age, it's almost like, hey, I'm gonna stand and put up a
Mm,
performance for the fans,
yeah.
right? That's how I think this fight goes. I think they're gonna keep it standing and they're gonna strike and they're gonna put on a war and it's gonna be fun and it's gonna bring entertainment and people are gonna remember this fight as being like one of the best fights. That is a terrible game plan for Dustin Poirier. And I don't think people understand that. It's like when you're locked in and you're preparing a game plan to beat somebody, don't just make it a fun fight. Anytime you make it a fun fight, you're just almost accepting defeat, right? And to me, that's what it feels like. It's like, hey, I'm going to stand with such a phenomenal boxer in Max Holloway. And here's the thing. Max Holloway won round 1 of the Ilya fight, if you ask me. He won it. He put up a great fight. Did better than Charles did. That's for sure. He's a very good striker. He's very crafty, very quick. And we saw at 155 against Justin Gaethje, he carries a lot of power as well. Um, and I think if you're Dustin, you stand with a much younger, 3 years at this point is a big deal. Max Holloway, current BMF champ. I think he remains the BMF champ. Um, the belt wasn't on the line in the Ilya fight. Maybe if it was, we would have saw Max Holloway not get knocked out. I don't know. But at the same time, like if you're the UFC, Dustin Poirier wins this BMF belt that we just made up out of thin air. Then it becomes vacant
Yeah.
when he retires. What are we going to do? That's crazy. I just don't think it's going to happen. Max Holloway, I believe, is going to win the third and final fight against Dustin Poirier. To JP's point, I would love to see it go 5 rounds. If it does, I think it's going to be awesome. I don't know about some biased judging and what we're going to have in the woodworks. The crowd's going to be going crazy for every single strike that Dustin lands. They're going to be backing the guy. I just think Max Holloway's better, and I got to trust what I see on film. I got to trust my gut. I got to trust the skill set that I see in front of me and how I believe the fight's going to go. I'm taking Max Holloway.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and if there's anybody on this card that me and Brevin should dislike the most, it should be Max Holloway. Okay? UFC 300. Knockout of the year. One of the greatest knockouts of all time. Him and Justin Gaethje. Okay? We had a thick boy parlay. Last leg of said parlay. Gaethje and Holloway to go the distance.
It wasn't just that. It was Holloway to win via decision, which he was a big-time underdog in that one. We would have been walking around Vegas rich, fellas. Let me tell you that.
I mean, and you guys can't be like seconds away. Not seconds. Not seconds. A single second.
Single second.
But how can you be mad? Crazy stuff. This is what we love to see. I hope we get a moment like that on Saturday.
I agree. That would be one hell of a way to send Dustin Poirier off into retirement. Is sleeping. All right. That does it for the card. That doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right now, starting with Lockeddoormma's Lock of the Night. JP, who are you locking up?
Who am I locking? Is it crazy to pick Kevin Holland in 2025? It's even crazier to lock him. I think D-Rod sucks. Kevin beats him everywhere. Give me big mouth, loud mouth, kung fu, Kevin Holland.
Love it. And for my lock, I'm taking a guy that I think has the skill set to be very, very dangerous in this division. Give me Vinicius Oliveira to get it done over Kyler Phillips. I think the striking is going to be too much for Kyler. Vinicius and Kevin Holland is your lock of the night. Now for Brevin's basic. Let's throw in loudmouth Kevin Holland. Let's throw in my lock, Oliveira. And one that you may not see coming, but I think is going to be a sneaky good pick. Roman Kopylov. I think he's going to be able to get it done to round out the basic right now. That's a plus money. Get it in before those lines change.
Love it.
Without further ado, let's send it over to the big boy, JP's Juicer.
If you were thirsty, you were parched out in the desert, and the juicer was water, I think you die. But that's okay. That's okay. All right, there's no longer a drought. It's raining, and it's raining buckets, baby. Let's do the juicer. First one. Brevin threw him in there, snuck him in there. Roman Kopylov. I'm throwing him in mine. Okay, I think he's beaten Paulo Costa. I don't think Costa's in it. He's not active. Throw in Roman Kopylov. Loudmouth, big mouth, Kevin Holland. Throw him in there. D-Rod gets beat everywhere. Next one. Brevin may not like it. 50K, E-Gay. Throw him in there over Patricio Pitbull. Okay. Next two. Daniel Zellhuber over Michael Johnson. I think Michael Johnson's style is a recipe for disaster against Zellhuber. Throw him in there. Vinicius Oliveira, Brevin's lock. A phenomenal line. I think you got to get it in now because I think it's only going to go more towards a favorite status. I think it's only going to go up. So get him in now. And the final one. The 6 leg. The sneaky boy. Had to throw one of the 2 blockheads in there. Francisco Prado. Give me him over Veretennikov, who has not won a single fight, anything to do with the UFC. He's won zilch. Throw Prado in there. 6 legs, plus 748, baby. Gorgeous.
Love it. I'm feeling good about it. It should be a fun weekend of fights, folks. Make sure you are getting your popcorn ready because, like we said at the beginning of the show, maybe not huge names on paper, but I do think there's going to be some fireworks and some dudes that can absolutely turn some lights off. Like we're trying to save energy. Okay. I'm excited for it. Hope you guys are too. And with that, I'll hand it over to JP.
Out in NOLA. Nolans. All right. Never been. But if I was to go, it'd be to watch people punch each other in the fucking face. Okay. Very excited. DP's retirement fight. The BMF belt on the line. We'll have to see, man. Another gorgeous pay-per-view. Hey, if you guys made it this far, make sure you like, okay, subscribe. Drop who you're taking in the comments. All right, if you got nothing to say, throw a W down there. Help you boys out with the algorithm. Road to 500, and we're right there, baby. We're right there. Okay, we're inches away. All right, so hopefully we get there this weekend. We appreciate y'all for sticking around. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Hey.